Market turmoil. Trump's tariff threats trigger economic uncertainty. Are we on the brink of a global trade war? President Trump's aggressive tariff policies are sending shockwaves through the markets, leaving investors and economists scrambling to assess the potential fallout. U.S. stocks experienced a turbulent Monday, reflecting the deep uncertainty surrounding the administration's trade strategy. The Dow, S&P 500, and Nasdaq all faced significant declines, mirroring the previous week's losses following the initial tariff announcement. This volatility underscores the market's sensitivity to trade policy and the potential for further disruption. Investors are clearly concerned about the impact of these tariffs on corporate earnings and economic growth. President Trump has explicitly stated that he is not considering a pause on the recently imposed tariffs, signaling a continued commitment to his aggressive trade agenda. He is willing to negotiate, but only on his terms. This firm stance suggests a willingness to escalate trade tensions further, potentially leading to a protracted period of economic uncertainty. The president's rhetoric on Truth Social, urging Americans to be strong, courageous, and patient, highlights the administration's view of these tariffs as a necessary step to address perceived trade imbalances. Trump's specific threat to impose an additional 50% tariff on China if it does not withdraw its 34% increase by April 8, 2025, is a significant escalation. This ultimatum, coupled with the termination of planned meetings, raises the specter of a full-blown trade war between the world's two largest economies. Such a conflict could have severe consequences for global supply chains, economic growth, and international relations. Economists are particularly concerned about the potential for retaliatory measures and the disruption of established trade patterns. The global response to Trump's tariffs has been overwhelmingly negative. China has already retaliated with a 34% tariff on all U.S. imports, and other countries are considering similar measures. European leaders met in Luxembourg to discuss the European Union's response, indicating a coordinated effort to counter the U.S. tariffs. This widespread opposition highlights the potential for a global trade war, with significant implications for international trade and economic stability. Financial analysts are closely monitoring these developments to assess the potential impact on global markets. The current trade environment presents a significant challenge for economic forecasting. The potential for escalating tariffs, retaliatory measures, and disrupted supply chains makes it difficult to predict future economic growth. While some argue that tariffs can protect domestic industries, most economists believe that they ultimately lead to higher prices for consumers, reduced trade, and slower economic growth. The long-term impact of these policies remains uncertain, but the short-term outlook is for increased volatility and uncertainty. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced trade negotiations with Japan, suggesting a potential for bilateral agreements to mitigate the impact of the tariffs. However, the overall impact of these negotiations remains to be seen. Bitcoin prices have also fallen below $80,000, reflecting broader market anxieties and a potential shift in investor sentiment. These developments highlight the interconnectedness of global markets and the far-reaching consequences of trade policy decisions. This report aims to provide an informative and analytical overview of the current trade situation, focusing on the potential economic consequences of President Trump's tariff policies. By examining the market volatility, global responses, and economic forecasts, we hope to provide economists, financial analysts, and investors with the information they need to make informed decisions. The tone is neutral, presenting the facts and analysis without taking a specific position on the merits of the policies. Don't let market uncertainty paralyze you. Subscribe now for real-time updates, in-depth analysis, and expert insights to navigate these turbulent times. Follow us on social media for breaking news and share this report with your network to help others stay informed. Take control of your financial future by staying ahead of the curve.